Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبيه ومصطفاه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to a new edition of Ask Huda. Our phone numbers area code 002-0238 555 248 or 249, and the email address is ask@huda.tv. You can go ahead and start ringing in, and I do have a couple of pending questions from the previous episode. Saliha from the KSA said, I recite a verse from the Quran in Arabic and then I read in English meaning in order to understand it. Is this okay? As a matter of fact, this is the best way that you can read the Quran. You recite it in Arabic, then learn the meaning of that verse which you have recited in your own language, because the Quran ordered us to reflect upon it and ponder its meaning. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala criticized those who listen to the Quran but they do not understand it because they do not make an effort. He says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. When they reflect upon the Quran, or do their hearts have locks on top of them, and that's why they cannot understand the Quran. So this is a way which I prescribed for my students in the States a long time ago. I'm talking, of course, about the non-Arabic speakers. They read the ayah and they read its meaning, whether the short meaning, such as the meaning in the Noble Quran by Dr. Muhammad Muhsin Khan or others, or if you have a chance to read its tafsir, then in this case it will be not necessarily a verse, a group of verses which will provide a complete meaning or a complete story. The best tafsir in this regard, and the one which is available in English, is Tafsir Ibn Kathir, the abridged tafsir of Ibn Kathir, and it is published by Darus Salam publication. I pray for these guys because Allah is utilizing them to make it easy for Muslims who are non-Arabic speakers, mainly English and French speakers, to acquire knowledge and to learn about Islam. So may Allah make their business profitable. Ameen Ya Rab. The second question is from Walid from Egypt. He says, is it permissible to hold the Mus'haf in your left hand while praying? It is better to carry the Mus'haf always in your right hand, in the prayer or outside the prayer. But if you get tired and you carry it in your left hand, you feel it's much more comfortable, then it is okay to carry it in your left hand. It is not haram or prohibited. And carrying the Quran in the prayer, in the nafl particularly, is permissible, except according to Abu Hanifa, may Allah have mercy on him, who said no, it is not permissible because it resembles the way of the people of the book, the Jews and Christians, were supposed to read the Quran in the prayer by heart. But the Jumhur and the vast majority of the scholars relied on their view on a hadith that is narrated that Aisha, the mother of the believers, radiallahu anha, used to let her servant Zakwan lead the prayer, and he would hold the Quran in his hand while leading the Taraweeh or the night prayer. The second question is, why the Qibla was moved from Jerusalem to Mecca? Okay? The Qibla was changed from Jerusalem to Mecca, number one, because it is Allah's decree. And that was already preordained even before appointing the Prophet ﷺ as a prophet. This is Allah's decree and decision. But there are some reasons. We all know that the Kaaba was the Qibla of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Ismail. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, so long as he was in Mecca, he used to pray towards Jerusalem as he was ordered, following the Qibla of the people of the book. But meanwhile, he always kept the Kaaba on his way. So he was facing both of them. Then after he migrated to Al-Madinah, it took him 17 months. He was only facing Jerusalem because Mecca did not fall on the way. So he kept contemplating and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala politely. The Quran reported that by saying, قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ فَلَنُوَلِّيَنَّكَ قِبْلَةً تَرْضَاهَا. The Prophet was invoking Allah by his heart to change the Qibla to Mecca instead of Jerusalem. Why? I will discuss this after these phone calls. Assalamu alaikum. Abu Muhammad from Nigeria.
Yeah, Sheikh, good evening.
Good evening to Abu Muhammad.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for all that you are doing. Sheikh, I have two questions.
Now,
the first is regarding Salatul Nabi. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized on making salah, that after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed the ayah, he taught the Salatul Ibrahimiyya. So my question is, when a person wants to make like 100 salahs to the Nabi, is there a shorter version that he can use apart from the long one?
I got your question. Okay.
Up to the end. So the second question is regarding the fasting at the end of the month, the Nafila fasting, the last day of the month. Is it authentic? And if it is it the last day or the last 2 days? So please, I would like you to...
Of what? Of the month?
The Nafila fasting at the end of the month.
Not fasting?
Nafila fasting at the end of the month.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you talking about...
authentic or if it is...
Are you talking about every lunar month? Or you're talking about only the month of Sha'ban which precedes Ramadan?
I'm talking about every lunar month. Every lunar month.
No.
The last day.
Okay. No, that's not true. I will answer this question, inshallah. I'll just give you a short answer. Okay. Uthman from the case A. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Sheikh, I have actually I only had one question, but I just remembered another one. So can I ask two questions?
Yeah, please.
Okay, my first question is that can women pray the Dhuhr prayer on Friday before the men finish the congregational prayer in the masjids, or do we have to wait for the men to finish the congregational prayer and then we can pray the Dhuhr prayer at home? And my second question is, like there is an ayah in the Quran which says that Allah would burden any soul more than it can bear. Is it applicable only in this dunya, or is it applicable in the grave and the hereafter also?
You're talking about the ayah which reads, as la yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, it is applicable in this dunya.
Not in the hereafter.
Okay, I'll talk about this as well, inshallah. Next.
Thank you. Jazakallah.
Brother Salim from Sweden. Fahim. Brother Fahim from Sweden. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
Sheikh, I have two questions.
Please.
Why do we pray Zuhr and Asr prayer silently? And the second question is, can dua change our destiny?
Okay. Any other questions?
No, just two questions.
Fahim, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here, Sheikh.
Okay. With regards to your first question, I wonder why didn't you ask why do you pray Dhuhr and Asr and Isha 4 rak'ahs, while Maghrib only 3 rak'ahs and Fajr only 2? Did you ever ask yourself this question?
My second question is, can dua change our destiny?
You didn't hear my comment. Fahim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Did you ask yourself, why do we pray Maghrib 3 versus Dhuhr, Asr, and Isha 4 and Fajr only 2?
No. I mean that why do we pray Zuhr and Asr prayer silently?
I understand your question. Okay. Let me inshallah answer it in the same order I received it. Jazakallah khairan. Fahim from Sweden. Okay. So when the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Al-Madinah, and the Jews kept saying, this guy is not really a prophet. He didn't bring anything new. He's following everything that we do. He's even following our Qibla. And the Prophet ﷺ always loved to follow the Qibla of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased his heart by saying, قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ فَلَنُوَلِّيَنَّكَ قِبْلَةً تَرْضَاهَا. This is the Qibla that the Prophet ﷺ was longing to face. So, afterward, everything that the Prophet ﷺ knew that Ahlul Kitab would do, he would do something different than that thing. He ordered us even to not to copy them pertaining any act of worship, pertaining any ibadah that they do. Even with regards to growing beards and trimming the mustache, there are several ahadith in this regard, which began by saying that Khaliful Mushrikeen, do different than the disbelievers, be different than the Mushrikeen, grow the beards and trim the mustaches, and so on. And when he was told about the 10th of Muharram, that or Ashura, that the Jews used to fast on this day as well. And by the way, the Prophet ﷺ used to fast on this day even before entering Mecca. Him and the Meccans before Islam used to do that. So before entering Medina as Muhajir, they used to do that. So when he was told that, how come that we are ordered to be different than Ahlul Kitab, mainly the Jews in Medina, and now they fast on the same day that we fast. So the Prophet ﷺ said, if I live till next year, I shall fast on the 9th along with the 10th. But the Prophet ﷺ died before he could reach this day. And that's why the sunnah is to fast a day before or a day after along with the 10th, and it will be best, the most ideal is to fast the 10th and the day before the 9th and the day after, which is the 11th. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Khalifa from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, we find you in the best of health and iman, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Thanks so much for your prayer. May Allah accept, and likewise for you and for all the viewers.
Ameen. Sheikh Muhammad Salah, I have one question, please.
Yes.
I had a conversation with a sister a few days ago regarding the situation in Syria at the moment. May Allah have relief for all our brothers.
Ameen. Ameen.
Ameen. Brother, I'd like to ask, I later found out that this sister was actually following a Shia way, and she said, we're waiting for the relief from the Mahdi. And I was a little bit confused and a little bit also embarrassed on myself, because I'd like to know what we believe about the Mahdi as for me, and the difference of what they believe, so I can better approach this situation in the future if it ever comes up again. If you had any advice for me, Sheikh, I would greatly appreciate it.
And Khalifa, you already know that the sister is a Shia, or you are expecting that?
Sorry, Sheikh?
You already know that the sister whom you had a conversation with is a Shia, or you're assuming?
Yes, I knew that. I knew that. The comment that she passed about the Mahdi, waiting for the relief from the Mahdi, it kind of stunned me a little. I wasn't sure, like.
So if somebody's child got killed, and his family have been massacred, they shouldn't do anything. They just sit and wait for the Mahdi. Let me explain this myth, inshallah.
I understand, Sheikh. I wanted to understand, like, the difference of what we believe of the Mahdi is coming, and maybe a little bit about what their situation is on that, because I was confused and I felt ashamed that I wasn't able to stand up for what I believe in. So if you could clarify something for me, Sheikh, I would greatly appreciate it.
نعم.
Jazakallah khair.
وجزاكم بارك الله فيك أم خليفة. Sister Fatima from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Huda.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. How are you, Shaykh?
I'm fine. Thank you, sister. Barakallah feek. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. I have a question about performing Umrah.
Now,
If a woman of 60 years old is performing Umrah escorted by a man who is not her mahram,
now,
that means Umrah is not accepted, it's haram. And if she did it already, what she can do to...
you mean
try-
she only traveled with this gentleman?
Yes.
Or she happened to be in a group and there is a man? I don't understand, because
Yeah,
well, I'm
it's not-
asking for a clarification because I had a question earlier that a boyfriend and a girlfriend were planning on going for Umrah. So I wanted to understand.
She is 6 years old, the man is 40 years old, and he's just escorting her to Umrah. But she performed already Umrah.
Why? Why would he escort her for Umrah? What is the relationship between them?
It happens that they know each other from a school. She's a teacher. They know each other from a
Wow.
school. So, yeah.
Okay. Are they married? Both of them, are they married? Or?
No, the woman is not married, and he is married. He has the first wife.
Nah.
Yes. So I want to ask, to advise her, if she already performed Umrah, is it necessary to sacrifice sheep or to ask Allah forgiveness, or it will be accepted or
Harder.
not?
Insha'Allah. Thank you, Sister Fatima. Musa from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, ya Musa.
Wa alaikum salam, ya Sheikh. Yeah, I want to ask about an advert that is showing on the Huda TV, which is about a restaurant claiming that they are the best tasting sandwich producer in Egypt. And I'm wondering, this is a claim which is not authenticated. Is it proper for Huda as a TV to carry this? Because it's a claim that it's any marketing claim. So what is the...
They claim what?
From the Sharia point of view on this.
Ya Musa, what do they claim? You said they claim what?
Well, it says, the advert says, the best tasting sandwich in Egypt. The best
What does it say again? I'm
sandwich-
sorry. What does it say again, Ya Musa?
Okay, it says, the best tasting sandwich in Egypt. It's an advert, but it's on Huda TV.
I
It's a
see.
claim. So I want to know what is the view from the Sharia point of view. If you're advertising and you're making a claim that you are the best in a country, should Huda TV be taking this advert? I
طيب.
hope I'm clear, Sheikh.
Yeah, you're clear. And I guess I will have to try their sandwich in order to tell you whether it's the best or not. I will find out, inshallah.
Well,
After the program, I will figure this out, inshallah azza jal. Barakallah feek ya Musa. Jazakallah khairan. I understand that just lately Huda TV resorted to commercials and advertisement on a very narrow scale with very strict conditions with regards to haram and halal and Sharia compliance, because you all know the financial circumstances. So as long as the message that is aired is not in contradiction with the Sharia, somebody claims that their sandwiches or the food is the best tasting based on an experience of customers or whatever, it is debatable, but it is not haram. It is not, any message would be aired. There is a Sharia committee, so they have to discuss it, whether it's okay or not, haram and halal. They would not allow any music, they would not allow the regular commercials, as you know. So if there is a mean to support the channel, once again I'm seizing this opportunity to advertise for business owners everywhere. You can support the channel by advertising on Huda TV, on the advertising bar. Barakallah fikum. Jazakumullah khair. Abu Muhammad from Nigeria asked about as-salatul Ibrahimiyya. When we say as-salatul Ibrahimiyya, it is sending the peace and the blessings upon the Prophet ﷺ, similar to the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the peace and the blessings upon Prophet Abraham. As you say, كَمَا صَلَّيْتَ عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَعَلَى آلِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. The best format of sending the peace and the blessings upon the Prophet ﷺ is to recite this, not only in the salah, If you know and remember the ayah of Surah Al-Ahzab in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Verily Allah and His angels do send the peace and the blessings upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. O you who believe, you too should follow Allah and His angels and do so. صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. So the best format is to say اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. And that is also advised to be recited before making dua and once you finish your dua, in order to wrap up your dua in a gift wrap, which is as-salah wa taslim upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is the best form. You can simply use a shorter segment by saying اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم, and so on. But the best is the earlier one, which is known as as-salatul ibrahimiyya, the second half of at-tashahhud or the durood by the end of the prayer. As far as fasting the last 2 days of every lunar month, there is no restriction whatsoever. Maybe you're a little confused with Yawm al-Shak, which is the day of doubt, right before the beginning of Ramadan. Right before the beginning of Ramadan, in which there is a doubt whether tomorrow is Ramadan or not, and it was cloudy. And also there is a hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تقدموا رمضان, do not fast the 2 days right before Ramadan. But it's also not as a prohibition. It's pertaining somebody who all of a sudden decided to fast. Somebody does not have the habit of fasting, so he wants to fast right before Ramadan. And it is recommended for people who even have the habit of fasting Mondays and Thursdays, and they fast on regular basis, maybe every other day, to take a break 2 days before Ramadan. They should stop. They should cease fasting. It is recommended to do so. That does not apply to any other lunar months. You can fast throughout the month as long as you do not single out Friday by fasting. Barakallahu feek, Abu Muhammad from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Umar from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum.
Sheikh, I have 2 questions.
I'm listening.
The first question is, what is the position of Islam regarding a Muslim who chooses to take his money or to deal with a bank that gives interest when there is an Islamic bank in the country? What is the position of Islam on that? Okay. Secondly, my second question is regarding a woman whose husband has the means to provide her with all she needs in life and has provided for her, but she rather chooses to work in a place where the men and women mixes together. That's all my question.
Okay. Thank you, Umar from Nigeria. Barakallahu feek. Zainab from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Zainab, are you there? Okay. Please try again. Uthman from the KSA. Her first question is pertaining praying Dhuhr on Friday. We all know that women do not have to pray Jumu'ah in congregation in the masjid. So if she chooses to pray at home, and she will pray Dhuhr, of course, 4 rak'ahs. She says, can she pray soon after she hears the adhan, or does she have to wait until the Jumu'ah is concluded? No. For you, since it is Dhuhr, the time enters by calling the adhan. Or if you don't hear the adhan, by looking at the clock, you know that it is past time, you can start praying Dhuhr on your own, or pray the Sunnah, then pray Dhuhr. So you don't have to wait for any jama'ah to conclude their congregational Jumu'ah prayer. The question pertaining لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. This is the last ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah, the ayah before the last. لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. So, in this last segment of Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala abrogated what was mentioned before in the same surah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوْ تُخْفُوهُ يُحَاسِبْكُمْ بِهِ اللَّهُ. So this ayah was really harsh on the believers. Not harsh, but they thought it is very hard to deal with it, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, whatever you expose, you disclose, you show, or whatever you conceal, whatever you do in public, and whatever you even say to yourself, contemplate it, even without doing it, you will be held accountable for. You will be accountable for whatever you even imagine or daydream or think about it. تُبْدُوا أو تُخْفُوهُ. So in this case, the companions complained to the Prophet ﷺ, we cannot afford that because we think about a lot of things. It's just me thinking. So the Prophet ﷺ ordered them not to object to Allah's decree or ruling, and to say, سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا, and not to say, like the Jews, سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا. They said, yeah, we heard. They oftenly said to Musa ﷺ, we heard, but we're not going to listen. We're not going to comply. So the Quran oftenly ordered us, قُولُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا, say, we heard and we obeyed. إنما كان قول المؤمنين إذا دعوا إلى الله ورسوله ليحكم بينهم أن يقولوا سمعنا وأطعنا. Once there is a hukm from Allah or from the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم to say we heard and we obeyed. فلا وربك لا يؤمنون حتى يحكموك فيما شجر بينهم ثم لا يجدوا في أنفسهم حرجا مما قضيت ويسلموا تسليما. Surah An-Nisa. So we have to submit ourselves totally to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when they did, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them a relief afterward. In the following ayat, by the end of Surah Al-Baqarah, when He said, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not lay any takalif, any ordainment on any person beyond their capacity, more than what they can afford. So accordingly, every self لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. Only whatever you have earned, whatever you have actually did or said, you will be held accountable for, not what you thought about. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We got a call from Kenya. Noura from Kenya. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking, Sister Noor. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I wanted to ask a question, Sheikh, that if you pray tahajjud, I've not been able to memorize long verses. So can I hold the mushaf and when I'm praying tahajjud, I read? I wanted to ask you that question.
I did answer this question a few minutes ago, Sister Noura. And yes, you can do that. It is permissible. And I quoted Aisha, the mother of the believers, radiyallahu anha, was letting Zakwan, her servant, lead the prayer while holding the Quran in his hand. You can also place the Quran on a tripod, so this way you will enjoy both reading and practicing the sunnah of placing the right hand over the left hand over your chest in the prayer. Because the problem with holding the Quran is you miss a sunnah, which is placing the right over the left on your chest. So if you have a tripod in front of you and you won't worry about flipping the pages and carrying the Quran, doing all of that at once, placing the Quran on top of something when you go for ruku' sujood, then trying to pick it up on a tripod, it will be sufficient, inshallah. Okay, let's take a short break, and inshallah we'll come back to you in a couple of minutes. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Allah mentions Arabic word in Quran 11 times. This might be a sign for us to know the importance of studying Quran and studying Arabic language because it's the door to know more about Quran. Ubay ibn Ka'b, one of the most important Sahabas, advised the Sahaba, telling them, teach your children Arabic like you teach them to memorize Quran. See how important it was. And they are Arabs. Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, said, learn Arabic because it is part of your religion. Arabic is part of our religion. So how are we going to study Arabic and learn Arabic together in this course? This basic Arabic course contains 7 levels, starting with the 0 level, the ground level. Each level contains 13 sessions, 45 minutes each, and we have 2 quizzes in each course, and we have the final exam. So inshallah, by this, our objectives is to have a very good domain of the Arabic language, especially when it comes to reading Islamic books. So we're going to be introducing Islamic vocab throughout the course. So go ahead please and enroll in our basic Arabic course, as Arabic is the official language of more than 20 countries, and Arabic is the key and the door of all Islamic sciences. So please do enter this door from the correct way, Arabic language.
Huda Academy, your gateway to authentic Islamic knowledge.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. I guess we already have some callers. Let's take some questions first, and inshallah I'll continue answering your valuable questions and concerns. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Rahma from the UK.
Yes, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have 2 questions, if that's okay.
Please.
My husband and I hope to move to Egypt one day, inshallah. We have a daughter, and I've been looking into the education system in Egypt, because in the UK we have Islamic schools. They're independent schools which you pay for your child, like private, to go to. I wasn't aware of the education system in Egypt, if you have international Islamic schools, or who I would contact to find out about the education system in Egypt.
Okay. Yes, indeed, we do have national as well as an international Islamic schools with a lot of varieties. Can go ahead and collect my number from the control, and inshallah, hopefully I can assist you in this regard. Barakallahu feekum, Rahma from the UK. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Zainab.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Welcome back. How can I help you?
Hello?
Assalamu alaikum. I hear you, Sister Zainab. Go ahead and present your questions.
Yeah, wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh. I want to ask a question. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One more time. Zainab, I hear you. Go ahead and ask your questions.
Okay. My question is that in what circumstance will a woman ask her husband for divorce?
Okay.
And is it permissible in Islam?
Okay.
Are you getting me, Sheikh?
Any other questions? Jazakumullah khairan, Zainab from Nigeria. Thank you so much. Fahim from Sweden. When you said you were wondering why do we pray Dhuhr and Asr silently, we do not recite out loud in any of them, I asked you whether you ever thought, why do we pray Maghrib 3 rak'ahs versus Isha 4 and Fajr 2? This is a ibadah. Ibadah means worship. And in the worship, the one who's worshipped orders the worshipper to do whatever he wishes. For instance, if you're going to open this door to investigate, then you'll have to inquire about the prayer times. And also inquire about fasting. Why from dawn till sunset, not till the evening or till noon? Why? There will be endless questions in this regard. The part which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not explain does not concern us. What concerns us is how to fulfill it. This way, okay, we will do it this way. Because the literal meaning of ibadah, al-ibadah means at-ta'ah, obedience. If I have to understand why do I pray this 3 rak'ahs and Fajr only 2, and Isha, Dhuhr, Asr, one is silent, one is audience with an allowed recitation, and why? These questions, even though there are some scholars who exerted an effort to give an explanation, I know some of these explanations, I don't want to keep you busy with them because none of that was discussed by the Prophet ﷺ, so it does not really concern me. What concerns me is how to pray properly with khushu', and what is the best time to pray, and the best way to offer the prayer in a way that insha'Allah it will be accepted. Barakallah feek. The second question, can the dua stop the qada? Yes, it can. This is a very valid question because in fact there is a sound hadith in the same subject in which the Prophet ﷺ said, الدعاء والقضاء يعتلجان. Ad-dua is making dua, the prayer, the invocation, asking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you against a calamity, for instance, to keep you sound for the whole day. And it was written as, I'm just going to explain, but it does not necessarily mean this, like when you write in your note by the pencil, I'm planning to do this, it is not confirmed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have decided that this person would encounter an accident on this day. If this person recites the dua which Allah prescribed, and the Prophet ﷺ said, this dua is to protect you for the whole day against 1, 2, 3, 4 things. So this person recited the dua will be ascending, and the qada will be descending. فَيَعْتَدِجَانِ يعني they compete and they fight. And the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, فَيَغْلِبُ الدُّعَاءُ الْقَدَرُ, which means the dua will overcome the decree also by the leave of Allah. It is not because your dua is more powerful than the decree of Allah, but your dua was also decreed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If this person was to invoke me, then this calamity is waived, or this test is suspended. So it is also a decree that is decreed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you take the move of making the dua, insha'Allah your dua will stop the calamity by Allah's will and leave. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fatima from Kenya. Fatima, can you hear me?
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, I wanted to ask you 2 questions. Can I ask you?
Now, please.
Yeah, okay. The first question, last episode I asked a question concerning Islam. We have a few Islamic banks in our country, and when you go there, I requested a loan of about 6 million shillings, 6 million equivalent to our money, Kenyan shillings. And they said, okay, we can give you the loan, but within 5 years you have to pay us back 10 million shillings. So I wanted to know if this is not riba. I'm a bit confused. I
Sister
wanted to
Fatima,
think about it before
Fatima,
I could go
if you
back
have,
to them.
yeah,
I wanted
Fatima,
your advice.
can you hear me?
And the
Fatima,
second question, yes?
if you have to pay any extra money more than what you
Yes.
borrowed, then this is interest. Then this is riba. No question about it. Okay?
Okay.
Your second question, please.
Okay, all right, thank you. Can I ask you a second question? Yes, the second question is, inshallah, I'm intending to go for Umrah during the month of Ramadan, and I was calculating my days. I think I'm going to get my menstruation before I depart from Kenya. So I was thinking of taking this medical pill to stop the menstruation, so when I go there I can do a ibadah until I come back to Kenya. Is that allowed?
As far as the hukm according to the Sharia, it is permissible. Just consult your physician. Consult your doctor in this regard. That is the best advice you get from your doctor, because sometimes the pills that you take would give you the opposite effect, and the period will be disturbed and the bleeding can be continuous. And I have seen a lot of complaints from a lot of sisters that the period was very regular. Due to the fact that they wanted to enjoy their Umrah or Hajj, they started taking the pills. So the bleeding was going on and it does not stop. They go and they come back and they don't know whether it is the period or an irregular bleeding. As I got several calls today from Kenya, I was just daydreaming right now. Hopefully, inshallah, one day we get a call from Barack Hussein Obama. Says that, I have a question. I was born as a Muslim and I was messed up. And now I want to come back to my senses. And I want to admit that I was wrong and submit myself to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and believe in monotheism. وَمَا ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ بِبَعِيدٍ. Nothing is too much nor too far from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We pray for His hidayah. May Allah guide him and guide mankind in general. Ameen. Brother Aqil from Kuwait.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, one of my friend is going for Umrah tomorrow, inshallah.
MashaAllah.
But he's going by plane. So do we have to perform 2 rakat nawafil after wearing ihram?
طيب. Since this question is urgent, as a matter of fact, there is no prescribed 2 rak'ahs for ihram. Rather, if the person happened to enter a masjid and he prayed tahiyatul masjid, go ahead and do the ihram afterward. If the person have offered any current prayer right before the ihram, yeah, it would be recommended to do the ihram right after the prayer. But you don't have to initiate 2 rak'ahs, especially for the sunnah of ihram, because there is no such thing. If you are in the plane and it's evening and you're praying tahajjud in the plane, yes, you can do that in your seat. The Prophet ﷺ used to do that on the back of his, while mounting his camel. So if you want to do that, then whenever you're approaching the miqat and the captain says we are in line with the miqat, you stop the prayer and you make the talbiyah and announce the ihram. That is perfectly fine. But don't worry about it. There is no special sunnah to be offered before assuming the intention of ihram. Sister Aisha from Nigeria, Assalamu alaikum. Go ahead, Sister Aisha, please.
I have 3 questions.
Please, go ahead, quickly.
The first question is if, as a mother, you are praying and the children, the baby that is crawling are passing the front of the prayer. Sometimes you would like to put your hand down, the baby will just pass and you put him aside. Is it that prayer, is it accepted or not?
Second question, please.
The second question, as the husband is not normally go to mosque to observe the prayer.
Okay.
He do pray, but he pray at home.
But he does pray.
Is that especially Fajr? He do pray, but he pray at home.
Okay. Third question, please.
Especially Fajr prayer. What someone can do about it?
What do you mean, especially Friday? He doesn't pray Jumu'ah outside? It's very obvious that you cannot hear me, Sister Aisha. Barakallahu fiki. Jazakallahu khairan. Sarah from the KSA. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I want to ask one thing. How to maintain concentration during Salah?
Khushu' in the Salah.
Yes, how? Like whenever we pray, we find all the worldly things coming into the mind that
of
we
course.
have to do this and this and this.
Mm.
Like not concentration. The
Yeah.
concentration is not maintained.
Okay, Jazakillah khair.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Khalifa from United Arab Emirates, with regards to our belief pertaining the Mahdi versus the Shia in general, Number one, in our belief, which is the belief of Ahlul Sunnah al Jama'ah, the belief of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions or predecessors, that we don't call him Al-Muntazar. Al-Muntazar is an addition added by the Shia sect to the word Al-Mahdi. Al-Mahdi means rightly guided. All the ahadith pertaining Al-Mahdi, there is not a single time where it says Al-Muntazar, and this is what makes all the difference. Al-Muntazar means waiting, that they're waiting for him. There is no Imam, there is no Khalifa, they're waiting for him. There is no need for Jama'ah, there is no need for Jihad, there is no need to defend ourselves. Just sit and wait for Al-Mahdi because he's going to change the world. We do believe that by the end of time, as one of the signs of the major signs of the Day of Judgment, the emergence of Al-Mahdi from the descendants of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family. His name will be Muhammad ibn Abdullah, matching the Prophet's name, and his father's name matching the Prophet's father's name. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. يُصْلِحُهُ اللَّهُ فِي يَوْمٍ وَلَيْلَةٍ. Allah will make him an upright person overnight. He would be an ordinary person, then Allah will prepare him by making him righteous. And the funny part is, he is going to lead Ahlul Sunnah to fight the Jews who will emerge from Khorasan, the part of Iran. So the Mahdi, in fact, according to the belief of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, is coming back to establish the Sunnah. Our stand pertaining Al-Mahdi does not include waiting for him to come to fix our life. Rather, every person is required to work hard in order to do the proper change. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. And he said in the Quran pertaining jihad, وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ تُرْهِبُونَ بِهِ عَدُوَّ اللَّهِ وَعَدُوَّكُمْ. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but hopefully, inshallah, the brothers will remind me to begin with this issue on the next episode. And until then, I leave you in the care of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.